Hi Aries, welcome to your October reading. Now, I'm going to be using two different decks today. We're going to be using the Cosmic Cycles Tarot and the Tarot of the Divine, which are two of my, well, they're my newest decks, but also the decks I'm currently most obsessed with. So we're going to have a look at, oh, dropped one already. We're going to have a look at what's going on for you, what's coming in for you for October, and then we will also take a look at the end on, at how other signs are feeling towards you. So like if you're dealing with, Aries, Cancer, to save you cross-watching, although I still recommend cross-watching. If you are dealing with certain people, I think it's best to get a full view, but it gives you just a little overview. And that doesn't have to be, with a love reading. That could be someone you're dealing with at work. It could be a friend, family member. Okay, so that being said, let's crack on and let's see what is coming in for Aries for the month of October. Ooh, okay, so you've... okay. So we're going to get the bad stuff out of the way first. So first off, you've got Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Now that for me in the upright is a really, really lovely card because that's the celebration. That's, the fireworks at the end of a display, at the end of an evening's entertainment, whatever it is, like they do a thing in Kew Gardens every summer, Kew Music, and have a big firework display at the end. Unfortunately, I think the time has come for you in October to realise that that isn't going to be for you. And the thing about realising that is actually quite a progress, because I think if you've been building towards that, and again, that could be, it doesn't have to be a love relationship. It could be someone you work with. It could be a project at work. It could be any of those things. The sooner you realise that that isn't going to happen, that the fireworks aren't going to go off, the sooner you can start to move forward, which is the next card out. You've got the Six of Swords. And I adore this card in this deck because it's, it's leaving, and it is a relationship in this depiction. It's a lady who's leaving the family home, taking the daughter with her, because things aren't right in the household. The household isn't happy, and she's taking the steps she needs to take to protect herself, to protect her child. So you have got some progress coming to you in October. Now, that was a good bit. So the downside is, in the short term, you've then got a Queen of Cups in reverse. So I feel like you're going to have a moment in the short term where you really feel that you almost lose your sense of self, and the ability to mother yourself, the ability to nurture yourself in the way that to make yourself happy enough that you can share that happiness with other people. Your final card you got out in your first spread, though, echoing on from that, is the Empress in reverse. So there's a definite need, I think, for you in October, Aries, to really come to terms with something that you need to progress from, and make that move, because it is going to be hard. In the short term, it's definitely going to be one of those things that gets worse before it gets better. But you have to trust that it's the right thing for you. Now I'm just going to get some clarifiers from the Tarot of the Divine. So your first one you've got out is the Seven of Wands. Now this, to go with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, you've then got the Seven of Wands in reverse, and that for me is, like in the upright, this card is amazing. I love him because he's tackling everything at the pace he can do. He's dealing with things. He's realizing what battles he can face, what battles he can win. But it's not. It's in the reverse. So for me, that is a case that, this Ten of Pentacles that you've been working towards is probably not coming forward. And really, the sooner you come to terms with it, the sooner you can accept that you've put up a good fight, is what I want to say. You've done what you needed to do in this situation. You've put in a lot of effort, and it hasn't come up with the goods. Now, with the Six of Swords, you've then got an Eight of Swords in reverse, and this for me is I adore this card, because this is not just, burying yourself away, and, like the Eight of Swords is traditionally very guarded. It's very cut off, whether it's balconies, swords, whatever it is. This one for me isn't. This is also not just a case of keeping yourself locked away, but it's also hiding yourself. Like like she's got this animal skin over her. It's hiding who she actually is in order to maintain the status quo. So if you leave, I think you're going to feel a lot freer and a lot more honest with yourself. I also think the other way to look at that is if you start being honest with yourself about the situation, that gives you the freedom to leave. Now, coming up from your Queen of Cups, you then got a Queen of Wands. And I love this. I love this card. It's very like Hawaiian. Not that I've been to Hawaii, but it's one of those places I really want to go. Now, with that regards to you not being in a position to mother yourself, I think it's actually a case of almost you need to put your emotions to the side and just take the decisive action. Oh my God, I can't speak right now. Because actually, you know, that Queen of Wands, she's got it going on. She knows what she's capable of doing. Like, she's really in control. And the thing is, it's almost a case of, like I say, you put your emotions to the side. You worry less about how this impacts on you in your heart. And you worry more about what the progress is. Worry about the progress that you can make by making this move. And then, for your Empress in reverse, you then got the Three of Wands. Now, this came out in reverse for, I want to say Sagittarius. But you've got it in the upright. Now, this for me is a case of you, again, once you come out of this, you've got some progress to make. You can move on. You can do things that you, at the moment, you can't do because the ladder's not in place for you right now. Is kind of what I'm getting at. I feel like you've got a situation where you've almost trapped yourself in wanting this Ten of Pentacles to come up, trumps for you, and come up with the goods and have that firework display and have that celebration. And unfortunately, I just don't think it is. I think you've put so much effort into this, but you've lost a part of who you are in the process. And that's leaving you, like I say, with this Queen of Cups and this Empress, that's leaving you in a really sad state of affairs where your well-being is in question right now. And that's what makes it tough for me. Now, if that does resonate for you, let me know down in the comments. Pop a little something down there and just let me know what's going on. If you would like to book a private reading to go further into that, then drop me a message. You can either email me, mustbeageminitarot@gmail.com with full stops in between each word, which will be down in the description box anyway. Or you can get me on Instagram. It's mustbeageminitarot with full stops in between each word on Instagram, and either DM me there or email me and we can book a private reading in. So yeah, that's good. Now let's have a look at how the other star signs are going to be treating you in October, because I think it always gives a little bit of an insight into what's going on. I'm going to stick with the cosmic cycles for this one. So what's happening if you are dealing with another Aries is they are coming from an angle. Okay, so if you're dealing with another Aries, I think they're going to spend this month. I think if you try and leave, I think they're going to try and convince you to stay by what you've achieved so far, by what you've brought to each other. And I think the situation with that is that you have the option to do it if you want to. Of course you do. And if you feel that your work isn't done and you have more that you can put in, then by all means let that Aries convince you that there is still further you can go. This is a couple's goal. They've achieved it together, these medals. I mean, he's wearing the medals, she's there for the ride, but I know that's going to resonate for one Aries. If you are dealing with a Taurus, got a King of Pentacles in reverse. So if you're dealing with a Taurus, I feel like your Taurus is in a situation where they are losing a little bit of themselves in the way that I don't feel like they feel particularly grounded or consistent or happy in what they've got to offer. And that's tough, because I think if they know what they've got to offer you, they would be in the upright. And you could then work towards it. You could then, you could keep going. Now, if you're dealing with a Gemini, your Gemini is ready to call things quits. Because you've got that death card. And this, I adore this card, because look at that, she's like cutting her hair off, letting it go. And that's big change. We grow hair for years, particularly in that card, she's cut it all off. She's like, nah, I'm done with the long hair. I'm done with that version of myself. I want change. And that's where I think your Gemini is coming into October. Now, if you're dealing with a Cancer, your Cancer has got a Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And to me, that says that if you're an Aries dealing with a Cancer, you know that it's not going to reach that pinnacle, that climax. And they also know it. In which case, the sooner you guys really call it a day, I think the better off you're going to be. Now, if you're dealing with a Leo, I want you to be a little bit careful, because they've got a Ten of Swords And that is a really, I find this such a harrowing card, because it's, you know, it's reading messages that are like, trash, you're crazy, shut up, stop boring me, things like that. And that, if Aries, if you are making a Leo feel like that, that's on you. That's not a reflection of them. That's on you. And whether it's true or not, is there another option? You know, before you start pulling someone down, because that's how the Leo is feeling in this situation, before you start pulling down, maybe it's better to walk away and leave the memories as they were, rather than tearing someone down because you're unhappy. If you're dealing with a Virgo, on the other hand, they have got the Four of Wands. If you are dealing with a Virgo, I think you've got a little bit further you can go with this connection. I think you've got the situation where they will keep trying to encourage you to stay. They will remind you of the good times, they will remind you of happy times, and they will probably make promises that they may or may not be able to keep. But they do want to. Oh God. If you're dealing with a Libra, Aries, you are upsetting them, unfortunately, and you're putting them into that Three of Swords, and that for me is such a heartbreaking card. This is, you know, listening to a song on repeat, tearing up the photo, you know, like I feel like most of us have probably been in that moment where you play a song over and over and over and over and over again until it has no meaning left to anyone else, but to you it means the world. And that is, I mean, that's another reason why I bought this deck, because I just find this card so incredible. I mean, they're all lovely cards, but that one particularly, whoa, literally gives me shudders thinking about being in that mentality where you're just playing things over and over again. Now, if you've got a Scorpio in the mix, things aren't too bad. You've got Four of Swords. So they might be taking a little bit of time to come through with things. And you know what? And like I always say with this card, it's a heart song moment. Like he's got, you know, his flowers, he's got his guitar. He's not quite ready to sing that song, to make that serenading, you know, to make a serenade, to serenade you. Not ready to serenade you. But with this, I think it's actually a little bit more that this Scorpio is, they're holding back for something. And actually, I think going by your reading, I think your Scorpio is also taking a backseat, either because they don't know how to convince you of anything anymore, of their emotions, of what's going on for them. They're kind of all sung out. Or they also know in their heart that things need to come to a close and they don't have the courage to do it. They're putting off doing it. They're avoiding doing it. Because that Four of Swords, you know, it's all about the rest, right? He's resting. He's like, listen, I'm just going to sit here and wait. I know what I need to do. I'm just not quite there yet. And that's a tough one. So moving on, we've got Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius got 10 of Wands, sorry. But it's in reverse. So if you're dealing with a Sagittarius, like they're not ready to let go of you yet. And that's I think where it becomes hard, because I think if you in your heart of hearts know that it's not what it's meant to be and it's not cracking up to be everything you need it to be, then it's like you almost need someone else to take the reins. If you don't have the courage to do it because you think it's going to, you know, rock the boat, you want to give it another chance, whatever it is that you want to do. If you're dealing with a Sagittarius, I feel like they're also not ready to let go. And I actually think it's more that they, you know, because the 10 of Wands like that way up, it's very much about, you know, she's still going on that house. Like the house is nearly ready, but they're not. They're still, you know, they're still bringing something to the table. They're still trying to make it work. And I think if it's a Sagittarius you're with, I think they're not ready to let go. If you are with a Capricorn, you've got an Ace of Pentacles in reverse, and this for me is that this Capricorn just really has nothing new to offer to the mix, and they don't, you know what, it's not that they don't want to fix it, but it's almost like they don't know how. They've tried a few things, they have tried their situations, and they're trying to improve themselves, but they don't really know how to do it. They don't have the backup emotionally, mentally, physically to, you know, like it could be that maybe your situation has you at a long distance and they don't know how to combat that, and that's what kind of brings them down. Plus side, Aquarius, look out for an Aquarius. Now this is the Three of Cups, and this for me doesn't necessarily have to be that the person you're dealing with. This could actually be that once you're through your situation, You have an Aquarius coming in to show you a really good time. And I don't mean like, you know, getting down to it, anything like that. But actually, this is, you know, this is like the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords showing the Page of Cups around. Page of Cups has just arrived in town. She doesn't know anywhere. So they're showing her around. They're showing her, you know, the cool places to be, what she needs to know. So I think, you know, if you're dealing with Aquarius, actually, they're probably feeling quite confident right now. Maybe they know it's over. And they know they've got other people around them. They know how they can, you know, rebound in the way of getting back up rather than, you know, going off on a rebound. However, if you've got Pisces, be very careful because you've got that Seven of Swords. And for once, this Seven of Swords to me is the sneaky side of things. This is someone who is very calculating. Maybe not quite up to speed because there's a, you know, camera they haven't quite clocked. Or they don't care. They don't care if they get caught out. Because this prize that they're after is worth getting caught. And that's where things become a little bit tricky if you're dealing with a Pisces, because I think there's some underhand stuff coming through. Now, hopefully that doesn't resonate for too many people actually, because that was quite hard. As I say, if you would like to book a private reading, drop me an email or grab me on Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button, which is a little bell, I think, because I'm going to be doing some free Q&As on YouTube as well as over on my Instagram. So I do them on Instagram probably about once a week, sometimes more. I'm going to start doing them on YouTube as well. So yeah, do hit the notification button. Obviously, if you like it, tell your friends. And if not, take care. I will see you very, very soon.